Hi, this is Allison Gingras, Reconcile to You Ministries, and I decided since I put on a little makeup today to do our Seeking Heart with Allison Gingras podcast here earlier this afternoon, I would share with you a little bit of the fun stuff that's been showing up in my mailbox and filling my reading list. I've been really blessed with a lot of great books, and I feel like I've shared a million times that my faith came to the point where it is because of spiritual reading. The world really, when I started this journey 10 years ago, did not have the choices that we have today, especially in the Catholic Christian publishing realm. And I just want to share a few of my favorites. So this one from Pauline Books and Media, Jesus Speaks, Heart to Heart with the King, from Gabrielle Voices. Sorry, I can't pronounce anything. This is a Catholic spiritual classic. He and I has inspired countless people over the years. These daily devotionals, it's kind of like Jesus Calling, but the Catholic version of Jesus Calling. It's Jesus speaking, and it's just little daily nuggets. For instance, on May 23rd, let's see if this speaks to anybody's heart. When you are praying, do not heap on empty phrases as the Gentiles do, for they think that they will be heard because of their many words. Matthew 6:7. Don't aim at saying an exact number of wordy prayers. Just love me simply. A look of your heart, the tender smile of a friend. Right now, just look at Jesus and let him look at you. Smile at him just as you would a friend. Right? Hi, Emily. So this is just a sweet, wonderful book. I waited forever for this one to come out, and I'm so excited. Great part of your daily reading, one of the ones that I do every single day. It's pretty tattered by now. Our Sunday Visitor, day by day, For the Holy Souls in Purgatory by my good friend Susan Tassoni. And what I've done with this book is each day, I don't lose that page, but I'm gonna anyway. I have names of all these people who have passed away, and I pray for them every day. On that day, I pray for those people. And so just another little thing to add is just a short little prayer reflection, and then to add to it, Jesus Speaking, Daughters of St. Paul, Pauline Books and Media. They have a lot of great things to offer for you for your own reading pleasure. And I did something wonky to the focus. It's not you. You don't need to go grab your glasses. I don't know what I did by showing it something. It's trying to focus. Anyway, we know that I can't touch technology without breaking something. Another one I'm really blessed and honored to share, which I really need to share more of because I'm one of the contributors, our friend Faustina, Life Lessons in Divine Mercy. This is Michelle Finlay and Emily Geminette. This is one of the books that they have. Oh, there we go. Whew. They have edited. There are 11 chapters, 11 women sharing their experiences with Faustina, Saint Faustina. And I was really, really blessed to be included in this book. And now there's videos to go along with it. Father Chris Alar and Emily and Michelle have put together this beautiful set of reflections of short videos to go with each chapter. So if you're doing this with with a small group or some of your friends, we did it in our Bible Babes group, and it was fantastic. We really, really loved it. Hi, Joe. I love the Memento Mori prayer book. It's one of my favorite from Pauline Books Media. It's an amazing one. Saint, I keep calling her Saint. Its sister, Teresa Alethea, is really amazing. And that is an incredible book. It's gotten tons of traction, and I'm so happy for them and for her because that book, again, really helping a lot of people and blessing people. A new one, which my husband will get more use out of than I will, but I'm really excited about this. Ceremonies Explained for Servers. My husband, Deacon, Deacon Hubby, Deacon Kevin Gingras, he just actually put in our bulletin that he's going to be doing another altar serving training. But how many times are these kids at events or serving like a confirmation or a wedding, a funeral? I don't think kids serve as funerals as much as they used to. But we have the chrism mass, we have ordinations, we have all these different things, the Christmas liturgy, the Easter liturgy, the Holy Week. Oh, I love Holy Week. All of those wonderful things that we have these children serving at. But for them to understand more fully what's happening, according to the Roman Rite, a manual for altar service acolytes, sacristans, and masters of ceremonies. This is for the kids. This is for the adults. My husband, who was never an altar server, you know, and became a deacon up until that point, before he became an acolyte, they're like, oh, you know what to do. He's like, no, I have no idea. I've never served. And to have the explanations, and it's a good, I mean, this is a good book with lots of pages. It's numbered like the catechism. Good information. Says the ceremonies explained for service may well be called the mother of all servers' manuals. This is the most detailed guide available for servers involved in Catholic liturgies and those who train and supervise them. Oh, this is, Emily said she loves this altar server book. Minute I saw it, I actually wrote to Ignatius and I said, can I please, I promise to write a beautiful review if you will send this to me by Bishop Peter J. Elliott. I'm so excited so I'm going to write the review, and then I'm handing it right over to Deacon Hubby so he can start teaching the children and preparing himself really for when he is leading the Master of Ceremony at the different liturgies. Good stuff. Ceremonies explained for servers, brand new, Ignatius Press. Highly, highly recommend. I highly recommend all of these. I wouldn't be talking about them if I didn't. Maybe you like to read the classics. I love reading the classics. In fact, I love the Invitation of Christ so much that I not only have this copy which is the softbound copy from Ave Maria, but I also have the hardbound, which I thought was next to me, but I must have moved it in my travels. So our Sunday Visitor has this new hardbound, beautiful set of books, the Knoll series, and they are just gorgeous. And one of them is The Invitation of Christ, which is my favorite book of all times. If you have not yet read Invitation of Christ, the Invitation of Christ by Thomas à Kempis, highly recommend it. And now you can either read it in softbound, the contemporary translation, and spiritual commentary, which I love, this little extra nugget. I have it, a really old version of it, but this one comes with a beautiful, interesting, just dive right in deeper spiritual commentary by Dennis Billy. Or you can also get the hardcover, and I say the because I got both. The Knoll series, which also has Catherine Siena books. I'll put all the links in here. Super, super good, beautiful books. Invitation of Christ, softcover or hardcover, depending on how you like to read it. Ave Maria Press for this one. And this is out from the Christian Classic series, and also our Sunday Visitor. I believe this is our, now that I say that, yes, it is our Sunday Visitor. I mean, this is Ave Maria. Okay, so there's a couple of my faves. Speaking of our of Ave Maria Press, I don't know if you know this, but I'm working on a new book about Mary, the Mother Mary, and how she lived the tenets of her faith. And in doing so, she had a heart of peace, of hope, of trust, of all those things in my life I want so desperately and don't have. So I have been working on this book. So I've been looking and searching for beautiful Mary books to help me in my research. And this one, so far, one of my favorites. Virgin Mary, Queen, Encountering Mary in Time and Tradition. And what I like about Mary as Queen, the Queen Mother, the Queen Virgin Mother, is that in times of when kings were more popular, Old Testament times, when you looked and saw a king, to the right of him was not the queen, his wife, but the Queen Mother. She was the one who sat by his side, and if you wanted something from the king, you went to the Queen Mother first. You went to got her favor, and you asked her to introduce you and your necessity. My words are not working today. The necessities to the king. And this is what we can do with our Blessed Mother, especially when we're in a time of worry, concern, doubt, fear, all those things that creep into our life as humans, we turn to Mary for intercession. We turn to her as our Queen Mother, as the one who has the right hand of her Son, who he turns to for advice, well, not for advice, but I mean, she is the one who taught him everything, right? It was his mom. She brought him up, she guided him, her faith, all of those beautiful things that a mother does for her son. And then in return, he listens to his mother. Doesn't mean he's going to do everything she says, right? Anyone who has a son knows that. But he is going to listen to her. So we go to her as intercessor. And then she, in turn, gives us peace and hope and love, all the beautiful things that a mom gives us. So this is a new one, Virgin Mother and Queen, by people's names I cannot pronounce. I'm not even going to try. You can just read it. But it's just rich in history, scripture, and church teaching. Virgin Mother Queen is a quintessential and virtually rich resource for those who want to understand how the more well-known of Mary's many titles and attributes correspond with the approved Marian apparitions across the globe. And that works out really well too, because part of my new book is including the approved Marian apparitions. And a little side note, I got to meet Michael O'Neill, who does a wonderful TV show on EWTN that I did not know about prior to meeting Mr. O'Neill. It's called The Miracle Hunter. And so one of the new shows he's doing is on Father Patrick Peyton. I live very close to the Patrick Peyton Center, and I was invited to come in and share a little bit for The Miracle Hunter about just how Father Peyton has been a part of my life, and you know, my devotion to him and why I think the rosary is so important, all these wonderful things. Well, I had never met Michael O'Neill, and so not knowing who he is, I was like, so what else do you do? Like, because he was there interviewing me. I didn't know he had this TV show or anything about, because Allison doesn't ask questions like she should. So that was a little embarrassing. Finishing the interview, it probably in a way was a grace, because I would have been far more nervous if I had known really who he is and all the things he had accomplished, and yeah, not realizing it was just not this little documentary, but it was this EWTN TV show that. So pretty soon that will be out, the Dr. Peyton. Oh, Allison, you crack yourself up. The Father Peyton special on EWTN, The Miracle Hunter. I'll be sure to share that. But I'm in it, and that was very exciting. And Michael O'Neill is one of the co-authors of this wonderful book about our Blessed Mother. If you're one of those people who, like me, did not have a devotion to Mary, didn't see the point of Mary in my life and growing closer to Christ until very least recently, this book is a wonderful resource, again, Ave Maria Press, to learn more about who Mary is, and how as Queen and Mother and Virgin and all these beautiful apparitions, how she really does guide and lead us closer to her Son, and can be there to give us peace and hope in times of trial as our great intercessor. Good book. And pray for my book. I'm just in the kind of the proposal phase. I found a priest to write it with me, which is very exciting. And I've got just working out the odds and ends. My newest book that's actually in publication out May 2020 is From Worry to Trust. I don't know the name of it. We changed it 10,000 times. From Worry to Trust. It's a Stay Connected journal, and that will be out in May. Other wonderful things happening in Allison land. Dun, dun, dun. Sacrifice of Praise. The Lenten Gospel inserts from our Sunday Visitor for Lent 2020 are written by me. How exciting, right? So I can say they're really good because they edited them. Sacrifice of Praise. It's the 6 weeks of Lent inserts for your bulletin. I don't know if your church gets in Lenten inserts, but if so, check out the ones from our Sunday Visitor called Sacrifice of Praise, and it's all about prayer, the different types of prayer, and how it helps us during our Lent to meet this alms, charity, and same thing, alms, fasting, and prayer. So very honored to be the author of the Sacrifice of Praise Lenten inserts for 2020, our Sunday Visitor. This came in yesterday's mail. Oh, wait a minute. Before I go on to that, because that's the same, let me finish up with our Sunday visitor. My good friend, Adelaide Hughes, who you will know if you follow anything I do from Wine, Women in the New Evangelization. She is the illustrator for our journals, and she is remarkable. And now she has a children's book of saints, Light of Heaven. Talk about beautiful images of our Blessed Mother, right? We have St. Thomas More, which I just found out is the saint of adoption. I think it was adoption. And I happen to be an adoptive mom, so that's kind of very important to me. St. Francis of Assisi. So these are just, there's a little bit about the saint. Obviously, this incredible illustration, and then fortitude, the virtues and words that are connected to, like this one's peace, pax, the Latin word that's connected to the saint, and Martin de Porres. Isn't that beautiful? So not only does our Sunday visitor have this amazing book for children, but also, the coloring book, which, you know, my daughter and I like to do is we like to color side by side. Just spend the St. Augustine. It's just a little activity that her and I like to do together. Let's just put our pages side by side, just sit in quiet, chat a little bit. I mean, it's harder for us to chat a little bit because she's deaf, so we have to kind of put down our pencils or what we're coloring and communicate with our hands. But it's such a beautiful activity. It's also very relaxing, and it goes beautifully. It's the pictures from this book uncolored, so you can get both as a set and share with your favorite kid, or just get the coloring page and color yourself. Good stuff. Our Sunday visitor. Last two I wanted to share with you. Thank you for listening and your attention, and just really, I hope that something, I'll share all the links when we finish, that something will be of interest to you. I have tons and tons of books. I'm blessed to be sent them just almost daily. So if you want a certain book, if there's something, some theme or something you're struggling with in your faith life, if you want to send me a message here, Reconciled to You on Facebook or reconciled to you at gmail.com, I'd be happy to recommend some spiritual reading for you, or just kind of guide you in whatever your questions are in your faith life. I think, you know, somebody did that for me and blessed me tenfold, and I'd love to do that for you as well. These last two come from Loyola Press, and I haven't done a lot of reviewing for Loyola Press, so I was pretty excited to get this opportunity. This one just came yesterday. Start with Jesus: How Everyday Disciples Will Renew the Church. And this is by Julianne Stantz, and I'm hoping to have her on a Sinking Heart sometime in the upcoming months. But when you start with Jesus, everything is possible. Jesus made disciples, and those disciples changed the world. Today's world also cries out for change, and such deep renewal is possible only through the fire of discipleship. As a church, we cannot lead with what and how, but who and why, which is why we need to start with Jesus. So I'll be writing a review on this, and again, hopefully having Julianne on to talk a little bit more about it. But here's a new one if you're looking for a new read, maybe something good for Lent. You know, every Lent I do Walk in Her Sandals with Wine, Women in the New Evangelization, CatholicVineyard.com. If you want to know more about that, that's also an Ave Maria Press book, but we offer it through CatholicVineyard.com with the book, as well as a beautiful journal with illustrations by Adelaide Hughes, who I just showed you. And we also do it virtually online during Lent. If you want to join wine book clubs here on Facebook, just send me a message. I'll help you connect with that. But it's really nice to do Lent with others. And if you're not doing with something, a small group in your church, to join us virtually is also a blessing. But I'm a crazy reader. I like to read multiple things at once, and I don't typically read books from cover to cover. It usually takes me a while to get through them because I like to savor them, especially spiritual reading. I want to dive deeper. I like to contemplate. I'm a journaler. If you can't really, we can kind of see, but I've got like journals here, journals there, journals underneath here. Like, I'm just constantly writing because I think there's so much to be captured. And this is kind of how I process, is that I write. And that's kind of how I process things. The last one I want to share with you is from Peggy Weber, fellow Massachusettsian. I'm making up that word. Enough as you are, overcoming self-doubt and appreciating the gift of you. And you're like, what kind of crazy book is that? Well, this is a review copy because I'm part of the blog review coming out in February. I will have a link to all of the wonderful reviews and reflections on Enough as You Are. I'll be writing a reflection based on Peggy's writing. Very uplifting. I think women, we are so hard on ourselves. Men are probably this way too, but being a woman, I can only speak to women. Oh, and they have my favorite thing forever on the front cover there, dandelions. I always say that, that you see saints holding flowers. Well, my flower is going to be the dandelion. Yes, it is a flower, because dandelions are tenacious. They're really hard, and they're hard to get rid of. They are, their roots go very deep. They pop up everywhere. And that's kind of how I want to be as a disciple of God. I want to be tenacious. I want my roots to go really deep. I want to pop up everywhere. And in the dandelion's death, they become those seeds that can go far and wide to places you can't even imagine. And that's how I see myself as a disciple and as an evangelist for the Lord. I want to be a dandelion. I want to be tenacious, deep-rooted, and everywhere, and in my death be even more invasive, just far and wide, spreading the good news of Jesus Christ. So there's my dandelion story. But enough as you are, just accepting who God has made you to be, and knowing that you are made with good stuff, because you're made in the likeness and image of God, and He gives you every blessing and every grace to be who He's created you to be, and to just really embrace who you are, and in doing so, more importantly, embrace who you are in God. So there's today's what I'm reading, and what came in the last few days into my mail, my inbox, my reading pile. I hope that you are excited about them as I am. I'm going to put all the links. If you have any questions, or again, you want something specifically for something you're dealing with in your own faith life, let me know. I'll be happy to help you find the right resource, the right book. I'm Allison Gingras, reconciletoyou.com. Have a blessed day.